Let me show you here.
Sorry.
Muslims are doing it.
Sorry, okay.
Muslims are doing here.
I'm trying
Muslims are doing here.
One second.
Muslims are doing it. Because they say we want to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet. And this is the Sunnah of the Prophet.
In the Bible, when in the book of Exodus, sorry?
You should be ashamed of this Sunnah.
Yeah, no problem.
You should be
I can do that,
ashamed
June.
of this
I can do
Sunnah.
that, June.
You should be ashamed of this Sunnah. Because
Okay.
this Prophet is a pedophile.
Okay, listen. And he said to them, "Thus says the Lord God of Israel, put your sword."
Aisha narrated in Bukhari.
June,
Aisha narrated in Bukhari.
June,
that
where does it say?
Muhammad had a sex with me
No
when I was
problem. The point is this: Jesus is ordering the killing of apostates, children, kids.
Shame on you.
That was what?
Shame on you for
If you talk to me,
this primitive
No, I know, but when bro, he's gonna follow us. Let's go. He's gonna follow us.
Be ashamed of this prophet.
Can we go to our thing? Come.
Hadith, the Prophet wrote the marriage contract with Aisha while she was 6 and consummated his marriage with her when she was 9 years old. Okay. Hadith, it was narrated from Aisha, the Prophet married her when she was 7 and she was taken to him as a bride when she was 9 years old and she took her dolls with her. Dolls? There is also another hadith which states that Aisha was playing on a swing at the time when her mother took her away from her playmates and married her to the Holy Prophet. Wait, hold, what? A lot of Islamophobes have found these ahadith in our books and used them as pillars on which to build a slur campaign attacking the Holy Prophet, creating cartoons, movies, documentaries, jumping onto social media, making YouTube videos, all to attack Islam. It's these ahadith which cause a stir, understandably, as they don't just depict a young woman, but rather a young girl with the maturity of a child. But what they don't understand is that these very pillars on which they've built their entire campaign are weak. The basis of Islamic principles and thought are derived from the Quran and the Ahadith, which can loosely be defined as reports from various personalities describing the words, actions or habits of the Holy Prophet. But while the Quran is the perfect, flawless, unaltered word of God, no other book is. For a lot of people, when they stumble across such ahadith, it shocks them. But for one who actually studies the ahadith books, it's not a shock. There's a lot of weird things in these books, just like any religious text which has been molded and altered throughout time. You see, after the Holy Prophet passed away, people started to take advantage of the turbulent political climate, creating a hadith out of thin air. There were hypocrites, liars, and enemies of Islam who wanted to distort the message of the Holy Prophet in order to benefit themselves. And there were others who were genuine in their intentions, but they made mistakes or suffered from weak memories. In any case, you'd get people coming out and saying all sorts of weird and wonderful things about the Holy Prophet. If an onion seller wanted to increase his sales in the market, he'd declare, "I heard the Holy Prophet say that eating onions is the path to paradise." If a tyrannical ruler wanted to justify his rule, he'd declare, "I've heard the Holy Prophet say that I'm a pious man." If somebody wanted to slur the personality of the Holy Prophet, they'd say, "I saw the Holy Prophet committing a sin." And all of these things, hundreds of thousands of ahadith, made their way into the ahadith book.
The lie that Aisha, the daughter of Abu Bakr, married the Prophet when she was 6 years old, contained in the Bukhari reference texts, is believed by many Muslims. Because of these lies, Islam gets stabbed a lot. And it is because of these issues that the Prophet becomes the subject of many slanders and accusations. Numerous stories about his relationships and dealings with women contain historical inaccuracies with the narratives. Then, many of these hadiths are exploited to discredit the Messenger of God, while the voices of our scholars remain silent before these accusations. And when sensible voices try to defend the Prophet by showing the inaccuracies of many of these narrations, they are attacked and confronted by the body of scholars and their henchmen of jurisprudence, who claim that the books of Bukhari and Muslim are infallible. As a result, all diligent attempts to correct these narrations, even if they are subject to doubt or illogicality, the scholars remain against true Islam to continue defending their sect. one of the most famous hadith fabricated by the enemies of the Prophet after his death in order to legitimize pedophilia for tyrants, is that Aisha married the Prophet at the age of 6 and had sexual relationships at the age of 9. Later collected by the books of Bukhari and Muslim. This hadith has gained all immunity for criticism even though it contradicts the Quran and the timeline of the events of the Prophet's mission based on the historical principles of the biography of the Prophet. The problem is not with the unbelievers but with the Muslims, for following the tradition and having abandoned the Quran, which is the true Sunnah.
Sorry?
You should be ashamed of this sunnah.
Yeah, no problem.
You should be
I can do that,
ashamed
Jim.
of this
I can do
sunnah.
that, Jim.
You should be ashamed of this sunnah.
Kids!
Shame on you, Muslim.
That was what? That was what?
Shame on you.